Drew,
Jeff.
everyone seems to be back into this idea of arena first-person shooters.
Well, you know what was a good game, Jeff?
What?
Quake.
Yes.
You know what else was a good game?
What?
Unreal Tournament.
Yes. So this is an Unreal Engine 3 game called Toxikk. That's Toxikk with 1x, 2Ks.
Okay.
And it's like $19 on Steam in early access right now.
Did they secure the Britney Spears license?
Sadly, I mean, I imagine that's why they had to change the spelling.
Okay.
You know, they couldn't secure that primo license. But you know, it's still in early access, so we can always hope.
Still time.
So yeah, we're playing deathmatch. I'm some kind of robot guy.
Is there any other mode, Jeff?
There's team deathmatch.
Oh, okay.
That's if you want to do that. You know, I think you can. This seems like Unreal-ish to me, not just because it's running on UE3, but it's got alt fires on the weapons.
Okay.
You know.
Can you charge that one up?
Nope. No,
Okay.
it's just
Sort of grenade-esque. That's a
yeah.
rocket
The alt
launcher.
fire switches to that. So that'll do rockets. Oh.
Can you
kill anybody
rocket
with that.
jump?
I don't know. I've only kind of just started playing. We got a little timer for weapon respawn. Kind of cool. So drone view if you want to.
I feel like these games, Jeff, because they are so similar in their prime directive, which is to be like those games.
Yeah.
They've got to have differentiating factors. Otherwise,
Yes.
they just get lost in the shuffle.
I think you're right. You know, otherwise it's the sort of thing where at some point you're like, well, why don't I just go play UT?
Yeah.
So this game has some ideas so far. Like instead of kind of using left shift as a running thing, it's more of a hop modifier basically. Hang on, let me see if I can get. So if I hit left shift while I'm moving in a direction, it's a hop.
Okay.
There's also a regular jump. But I can kind of, do little sideways dodges, back dashes, and stuff like that with shift in a direction, which is kind of a cool idea.
All right, now show me your jump.
Okay, that's a jump. This is me jumping.
Okay.
Oh, this is me falling. This is me riding the elevator back up. This is me riding it down. This is me riding it back up. That's a jump, and then here's our dash. It's a little bit lower, a little bit faster.
Yeah.
And more importantly, it puts walk on control, and it's a hold this in if you want to walk, as opposed to hold this in if you want to run.
If you're crazy.
By default, yeah, like who would walk. The other thing is I can hit Q and stealth.
Ooh.
You see that I had an energy meter. That's about as long as I can stealth.
Sorry, where's the energy meter?
It's that number that's 0 next to my armor.
Okay. The little sparkle?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was 100, and it drained out pretty quickly.
That's like maybe run around the corner invisible.
Yeah, yeah.
These bots, you play online?
These are bots here.
Okay.
It also does have online. Hopefully, we'll see if there's some people playing it.
Okay.
But these guys, they seem to have a philosophy about how they're going about it. And right or wrong, they at least seem to have picked some ideas. And there's look, this is not a free-play game because we don't want to have to monetize inside the game. We want to make the game balanced and all this other stuff.
Sure.
And, yeah, so they're kind of taking some stands there in how they're designing it. The early access thing says they've been working on this for 2 years.
Wow. Sure looks nice.
Yeah, it does look nice. That's the thing, there are a ton of shooters like this, floating around right now in some form of completion.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that I think sets them can set them apart is also art.
Yeah.
A lot of these games,
polish.
it's people are making interesting first-person shooters, but they don't. Yeah, they're lacking a level of polish that makes them stand out in some cases.
Yeah.
So alt fire and this is just a zoom.
Cool. I mean, yeah, I think this is one of the better looking, and it seems. Polish is such a weird word, but
yeah,
it seems fairly polished.
Yeah, you can tell that there's been some art passes on this thing, and it looks nice. It's got a style.
You're not getting hung up on environments and stuff.
Well, yeah, that too for sure. I'm invisible.
Can you pick up stuff like a health modifier, maybe like an energy boost or something?
There are definitely health pickups.
Okay.
There you see I got 20 health out of something. I don't know if it popped out of that guy when I shot him or what.
Armor shards,
yeah,
perhaps?
there's armor. I don't know if there are shards, but I have seen just like, here's a flak jacket for 50 armor or whatever it is.
Okay.
You've won the match.
Great job, Jeff.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
This is level 94. Or
Yeah,
94?
so there are there's a ranking involved. I don't know that bot matches necessarily factor into that. This game is unrealish in a way that makes me want to hit these keys to do like thrusting animations. So I'll say that about it. Let's go out to the main menu here. So that's boot camp. That's just your bot match mode. But there's there's actual multiplayer. Let's look to join.
Server list.
Okay, can we find any that have other humans on them? That's the thing. Oh, so they've got cell capture also, which is
Probably CTF.
some. I'm guessing it's some kind of domination style thing, but it could be. Capture the cell, capture the flag. I don't know. You're probably right, actually.
It's 4 of 8.
All right,
3 of 8.
4 of 8.
Better
Dutch
ping.
frag.
How about you sort by ping? Can you do that?
Yeah, sure. 8 of 10, ping of 65.
Yeah, do it. Is there no filter?
I didn't see one, but there's probably one in there.
Early access.
Yeah. This seems to imply that there are vehicles in this game. That little loading screen
That
right
is
there.
exciting.
So, but here we are on the same map, but this time with humans.
I saw a screenshot of this map, which leads me to believe that this is the only one they have. It's a big gun.
Oh. Did not even get a chance to shoot it. Then he turned invisible.
Whoa.
And then I turned invisible.
Does it behave like if you shoot, do you pop out
Yeah.
of invisibility? Okay.
That was a bad shot. Ugh.
Those 3-round bursts, is that you doing that? Or?
Yeah, that's the alt fire on the pistol.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Whoa!
I was heading for that jump pad, but then I got...
Did your head come off?
I think that's what that was, yeah. I think he probably shot me in the head with a shotgun, which seems like it would be bad. Ah! Humans, a little bit more difficult than bots, as it turns out.
Jeff, do you think there are things that
7,
these sorts of games
5,
can take
4,
from the modern state of multiplayer shooters
I think that...
and not betray their roots?
You've lost the match.
It's
You know what I
hard, with it being an arena shooter, there's that aspect of picking up weapons on the map and map control based around weapon placement.
Right.
Being a part of why those games work. So with this game, there is like a leveling system, but I don't know that you unlock anything of value because a lot of that stuff's on the map. You're not building a loadout. But when I think about modern shooters, it's about that kind of persistence, that level of progression where even when you are losing matches, you're still gaining XP to unlock stuff. You're making personal progress. And I think that's one of those things that inspires people to stick with a game. And I think merging that stuff into a shooter like this can be difficult, but not impossible. I don't know. I like the ideas of Call of Duty, and I like the ideas of unlocking a loadout. Or going into a match with a specific loadout. I'm not opposed to that. I think it's cool. But I don't necessarily think it works in a faster-paced shooter like this. Like, it becomes a different thing.
Right. It seems like maybe one of their other differentiating factors will be the vehicle stuff.
Right, but that's very Unreal-y as well.
Sure.
If you think about their kind of the larger Unreal maps and some of the bigger crazy modes that they came up with as UT kind of developed. And honestly, like for my part, like that's where UT lost me, is when it became like these gigantic maps and vehicles and all. Like at some point, it was like that's not why I'm here.
Hoverboards.
Yeah. Like hoverboard's cool. I want to shoot stuff in the face, and not work with a big team on some big dumb objective thing. Oh,
Oh boy. When you started a bot match, could you select a map?
If this was the only map on the deathmatch list,
Okay.
I don't know
So
if there was
maybe
another
this
one
is-
for team deathmatch or what the story is, but
This came out like less than a week ago, right?
it's relatively recent
Okay.
to Steam, yeah. But again, they say they've been working on it for 2 years, and if you go to their homepage right now, it's like, we're looking for map makers. So yeah, it's very possible that this is the only map that they have in the game right now. I can't say for sure. Which, if that's the case, I might say hold off on picking it up, as much as this seems cool.
Yeah, I mean,
You know, paying $19 for a game with one map, when you can just spend that $20 later after you see how many maps they put in a little bit later,
True.
might be worth the wait. Yeah.
but I think it's wise of them to want to, presumably, want to nail the networking and the shooting and overall gameplay stuff before they start.
Yes, definitely. I mean,
Focusing their
like,
efforts elsewhere.
yeah, there's certain aspects of making a game like this where it's like, are people interested? You know, if you're making an online-only shooter, you need players constantly. Otherwise, anyone buying the game is buying something they can't even use, unless they're way into bot matches, which that's not fun.
Yeah.
So I got more points there for a revenge kill, I guess.
When I think about, though, like, multiplayer shooters,
Uh-huh.
especially ones where your only goal is to shoot dudes,
Yeah.
the games that I come up with, like, there's only a few maps that I ever want to play on.
That's true. You know, your map count can be lower if every map is just a fucking banger.
Although, would those games ship with a lot of ones that people just didn't gravitate toward?
Yeah. That's something people had to kind of discover over time too.
Yeah.
But I was always the sort of person, like, I was always looking to connect to a server that was running the weirdest maps possible.
Oh, sure.
You know, like there's a certain
Ice
so like-
World with Counter-Strike is one I always remember.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Oh,
like
boy.
damn it. Like I want to play on the weirdest stuff you've got. Yeah, the
D-Rats?
latest mods, the latest maps.
Yeah.
So for me, like the perfect way to revive that style of shooter is to revive a huge modding community around it, to the point where you've got that kind of constant flow of new weird content. And not all of it's going to be high quality.
Sure.
It's kind of up to the server operators to determine what type of server they want to run, and if they want to only run the best maps or whatever, or if they want to just run the latest, weirdest stuff, which might sometimes be garbage, and hopefully get some user voting in there. It's one of the nice things about Trackmania is obviously that game is like lives and dies by user-generated content.
Sure. Does that ship with a map maker?
It does, yes.
Yeah. I'm trying to recall any first-person shooters like this that ship with one.
Well, at this point, the Unreal Engine is just a big editor. Like Unreal Ed and all that other stuff.
Sure, but there's a certain amount of there's a bar, a threshold you've got to get over to do that.
Right, that's true. Yeah. It's definitely not for the faint of heart.
But I'm thinking more like Trackmania or like
Well, there's Shootmania, but that's
right.
not a good game.
No. Something like.
And there've been some console shooters and stuff that try to try to let you make a map with varying degrees of success. But I feel like that hasn't really done it right. And even stuff like Trackmania, even though like making a track in Trackmania is not necessarily rocket science to make a basic one. People have used those tools. The best map makers, you can tell.
Right.
You want to play the latest track from a person who is known for making great tracks
Sure.
when it comes to Trackmania.
I mean, Halo 3 had some pretty awesome user-created maps.
Yeah, but that was like item placement and stuff, right? You couldn't necessarily do a whole lot
you could make them. You could make full-on maps. Like they had just an open space that people just filled with like ramps and walls and stuff. Didn't look particularly interesting, but some of those maps are pretty fun. So I feel like there's some middle ground.
10 kills remain.
I mean, in Trackmania, you know, the community kind of built a map rating system as a mod for the game that you run, and it was a centralized server of you know, basically it tracks karma with how many people liked it, how many people didn't, that sort of stuff. So you can see something like that. But anyway, like the point being, like, for a game to have, for an arena shooter to have like true legs, it needs to have a great mixture of like extremely classic maps that people want to play forever, and I think like a steady stream of mods. Like I think those are the types of things that you sort of need.
Yeah.
And that's a tall ask. That is a tall order these days.
Agreed.
Because this genre, especially now that like there are so many different small teams making games like this, and I imagine it's going to be incredibly difficult for any of them to break through in any meaningful way on the scale of something like Quake and Unreal, where you have that just mass of modders and people that they're following the work of those modders. Like that's just. Did that guy walk through that wall? Yeah, it's rough. That's a hard thing, I guess. Yeah. Let's quit out of this.
Okay.
And see if we can find something running in a different mode and see if we get any different results there.
Okay.
I believe Bloodlust is the deathmatch mode.
And oh, you're sorted by Bloodlust though. Upper right.
Ooh.
Yep, there you go.
That's also all on Foundation, but that is the team deathmatch mode. Cell capture. Nothing. No one is running cell capture.
Can you start one?
Let's see if I can do a bot match that. Nope. You can do team deathmatch and deathmatch.
Well, that explains
on Foundation. It has mutators.
Does it? And they're called
Or
mutators.
theoretically, it has a space for mutators, but
Okay.
it appears that there's nothing here.
What kind of settings you got? Can you rearrange weapon priority?
There's a button for select best weapon,
Okay.
but I don't know that you can rearrange weapon priority. Let's look here. It's looking like a no right now, but basically you've got, you know, select best weapon.
Cool.
Horn signal. Honk if you were in a vehicle. Oh, okay. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so I don't know. This seems pretty bare bones, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
there's
But what is
something
there?
to
I
it.
feel like it's
Yeah, I think
solid.
the movement and shooting and stuff like that I think feels right. But you know, for $19 right now today, I might say wait until they get some more maps in the game.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, we got some color options here. Clan tag.
Yep.
Oh boy. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. You can do some limited customization. Oh, that's okay. Profile details is just going to be. That's just my Steam page, guys. That's okay. Here we go. That's just the Steam leaderboard. So yeah, they've got this concept of XP and leaderboard and stuff, and you'll kind of rank up as you go. And the achievements currently are built around you hitting certain ranks. But I don't know that you actually get anything. Maybe you'll get more customization, more cosmetic stuff. I don't know. But
Okay.
right now, pretty bare bones. So with that in mind, I might say wait a little bit.
Yeah.
But
looks like they've started off on a good foot, though.
Yeah, yeah. The core of it is sound. So it seems like it's something that's at least worth kind of keeping an eye on.
Cool.
So I will try to keep an eye on it, Drew.
All right. Thanks, Jeff.
All right. Thanks.